Hey guys!
Hi guys!
So this week we're talking about protein, which is another one of our three major fuel sources. However, it's a little bit different from the other ones because the body actually tends to use it more for things like tissue repair, muscle synthesizing, like lean tissue, lean muscle tissue, recovery from your workouts, and other cellular functions versus that, fuel source. So, proteins, you're going to get it from, there's two major, categories for sources of protein. One is going to be your whole foods, and the second is going to be, supplements. Whole foods, of course, we're going to say, ideally, you're going to get them all from whole foods, or at least go for the whole food sources first. That's going to be your chicken, your meats, your beef, seafood, turkey, eggs, and then you got like some plant sources, which would be beans, legumes, lentils, chickpeas, things like that. Even broccoli is a pretty good source of protein. And then on the supplement side, you're going to have, those protein powders, which come in a whole variety. You're going to have, there's whey protein, which is pretty widely used, hemp protein, pea protein, all sorts of plant-based protein powders versus the whey, which is a dairy-based product. And so these are, pretty personalizable. You want to kind of find which one works best for you if you do use a protein powder. Another way to get protein in is like meal replacement bars or those protein bars, which can often be a little bit misleading in the sense that they're called protein bars, but they actually might contain much more carbs versus, protein. Carbs and fat even, and sugar, and a lot of extra ingredients, whereas, you might only get 7 or 8 grams of protein in that protein bar. So if you are going to be using a meal replacement bar or a protein bar, try to aim for something with 15 grams of protein or higher. That would be your best option.
Yeah. Even with the protein powders, always look for one that has, a decent amount of protein in it. I like to kind of go by like 20 grams for a protein powder minimum. And for carbs, you kind of want those carbs to be lower in those powders because, your carbs add up so quickly. You don't want to be throwing them in when you don't need to with a protein powder.
Exactly.
So protein is definitely the hardest macro to get in. We know a lot of people struggle with getting enough protein in each day. But if you don't get that protein in, you're going to run into issues with, having more hair loss. You can get brittle nails. Your skin will crack. It's not as healthy. Your immunity is just decreased all over. Protein is obviously the biggest thing for gaining muscle and maintaining muscle, so it's really hard to gain that muscle if you're not getting in enough protein. A lot of the times people have trouble regulating their body temperature if they're not getting enough protein. It can cause headaches, make you tired or lethargic. So protein is, really, really important to get in. We don't typically normally worry about getting too much protein in because it is such a harder macro to get in. But one thing that we do recommend is that you split your protein and you try to get little amounts in all day long because your body can only absorb so much at a time. So we don't want you going out trying to, get 100 grams of protein in one meal because your body can only absorb about 30 grams or so per meal or, in a certain amount of time. So you want to spread that protein out throughout the day. You want to try to get some in with each meal, ideally some in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then also add in some protein heavy snacks throughout the day.
Yep. Yeah, and getting that protein in throughout the day will really help you, stay fuller for longer. You're going to feel more satiated throughout the day. It's going to help you with, with that lower calorie, amount that you're trying to hit, and even with the lower carbs, because, carbs really provide a lot of energy. So having that protein to fill you up will really help you get throughout the day.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to be looking at your logs and looking specifically at your protein intake. We really want to see you guys hitting those protein numbers and goals for your macros. We're going to look and try to see if you're getting, protein at each meal, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we're going to look at your snacks too to make sure you're getting some good protein sources in at snack time.
Yeah.
We also kind of want you guys to reach around and sort of try a different type of protein. I know a lot of people can get sick of just having chicken every night for dinner, try a plant-based protein, try beef, maybe try some seafood if you don't usually eat seafood, but mix it up, try a little different stuff.
Yep, and if you're the type of person that likes to have a ton of shakes or protein bars throughout the day, we're gonna try to watch and see if we can get you to swap out some of those for some whole food protein sources instead. So like we said, the protein powders and the bars are great for supplementing. Exactly what they are, they're supplements, but mainly we want your protein coming from whole foods, so try to get that in mainly and then fill in the areas that you might need to get a little bit more in with the protein powder or the bars.
Yeah, so that's it. Good luck, guys.
Bye guys.